Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's My Guy Knows a Guy on the NBA Betting Today live stream here on the SportX Insights YouTube channel. A really eventful day in the NBA markets last night. We did go 3-0 on the live stream yesterday. Shout out to the Miami Heat. They put people on notice last night. I know the Chicago Bulls are not 100%. This is not the same team that we project from the Chicago Bulls in the playoffs. But I have high hopes of this Miami Heat team, and I'm glad that the projection came through for 1.5 units. Just want to give everyone a big show of appreciation for the support yesterday on the live stream. It went really, really well, and I'm happy that as many people are winning as possible. But you can't double up, triple up the next day because you're on a hot streak. We are on a hot streak right now, but I advise everyone to keep your bet size reasonable, steady, stay on the course that you project for yourself, and try to make it to the finish line. It is a marathon, not a race. As I said, there's a free $50 bet in the video description below to use at sportx.bet for non-US bettors. Make sure you take advantage of that and send me a message as well on Twitter at my guy knows a guy. I'd love to talk to you about the platform, show you the ins and outs, and just help as much as I can. So as I said, there's a free $50 bet to use at sportx.bet in the video description below. As I said, as I said yesterday, 3-0 on the stream. Miami Heat -4, T-Wolves -3.5. It did get sweaty. If you guys were on Twitter Spaces last night, I did have some open commentary about this game yesterday. I said that there may be a live betting opportunity in the fourth quarter against the T-Wolves. This team really cannot hold a lead entering the fourth quarter. If you look at the stats, it's very, very alarming. The T-Wolves, we escaped last night with the cover. That's all that matters. But it is noteworthy that this team has defensive issues to close games. They've shown an inability to close games, and they take their foot off the gas pedal in the fourth quarter. The Cavs, if they had a couple more minutes on the clock last night with the way the game was going, they may have been able to snatch that one as well. And also a big shout out to Duncan Robinson yesterday for the threes he hit. Let's keep it going today, everyone. As I said, try to help the video get as many likes as possible, help as many people see the message as possible. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And for now, I'm going to share one pick. I'm going to share one pick. I do have a second pick that I really do like today for a smaller bet. I'll probably end up sharing that later, just monitoring a couple of things on the back end. But my pick today is actually going to come in the matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, this is a pretty decent matchup to watch for basketball fans. Two teams that over the course of the season started off the season heading in similar directions, a direction of inconsistency, a direction of showing an inability to close games, a direction of showing an inability to play on the road. But since the halfway point of the season, these two teams have been going in completely opposite directions. We now see the Atlanta Hawks, they've fallen all the way to 5.5 games behind the 6th seed. The Boston Celtics are only sitting behind the 4th seed, which would secure home court advantage in the Eastern Conference playoffs. But they're behind by 1 game at the moment, coming off of a very disappointing loss to the Indiana Pacers. It wasn't a back-to-back setting, but that game was very worrying for the Boston Celtics. I believe that they just didn't have the sharpness that we've grown accustomed to seeing from the Celtics over the course of the month of February. And, it was a back-to-back setting. They probably underestimated their opponents. It's a new roster for the Pacers. They like to push the pace. The Pacers really took, I watched a part of that game. They took advantage in transition that day. They really did. They had a lot of points off of turnovers. Surprisingly, they out-rebounded the Celtics as well in the second half. And their lead, the Indiana Pacers, ballooned up to 22 points at one point in that game. I attribute a lot of that to a lack of defensive intensity, a lack of defensive desire. I think the Boston Celtics came into that game with a similar mentality that they showed against a sleepy mentality that they showed against the Detroit Pistons, where they came into that Detroit arena half asleep. They really came in half asleep. They clicked it on after halftime. But now we talk about the Atlanta Hawks. This is a team with an amazing offensive rating, an absolutely amazing offensive rating. They are second in the NBA when it comes to offensive rating. We know the sort of the franchise record-breaking season that Trae Young is having. He's essentially had to put these guys on his back. This is an Atlanta Hawks team that had high hopes for the basketball betting public entering the season. I myself, I was all over the Hawks early in the season, before the season, because of the confidence that they gave us on their Eastern Conference playoff run last year. This is a team that does have the pieces to succeed, but this team is Swiss cheese on defense. Everyone, they've let a lot of people down. I will most likely not win my season win total bet on the Atlanta Hawks, which I could not have projected before this season. With the momentum, with the youth of this core, it's just really inexplicable, the lack of intensity on the defensive end, the inability to perform on the road against the spread as well, against top competition. The Hawks, when it comes to defensive rating, they're 26th in the NBA. They're 26th in the NBA, and over the last 2 weeks, their defensive rating has actually gotten worse. I know they're coming off of a couple of wins. They've had a couple of wins recently. They're a big blowout win against the Toronto Raptors, an incomplete Toronto Raptors team that was definitely not on their sharpest game that day. I really feel like the Raptors want to run that game back, healthy and everything. They'll take the Hawks out. I'm telling you, that was a situational game against the Hawks that night. But when it comes to the defense of this Hawks team, you see at this point in the season, 63 games into the season, your defensive, if you have true playoff aspirations, your defensive metrics will increase. They will not decrease. This is not the point in the season to be trending in the opposite direction when it comes to playing solid defense away from home. Okay. This is a Boston Celtics team that will outmatch this Hawks team tonight. They outclass them at every position besides point guard, in my opinion. They're going to have added motivation after the loss against the Indiana Pacers today against the Hawks. And I really do feel like the bet in this game is going to be I took -6 last night. The people close to me, they know this. I took -6 last night, but I will bet this game all the way up to -7. The Boston Celtics have been the best defensive team in the NBA over the last 10 games. And I really believe that, Ime Udoka is going to have this team ready tonight. They're one game behind the 4 seed in the East. It's pretty difficult to stomach you look at the Boston Celtics, and I was a proponent of this in the first 2 months of the season. I said multiple times that I will never trust the Boston Celtics in the role of a favorite. All of that has changed since February 1st for me. All of that has changed since February 1st for me, and I feel like this team is going to apply pressure on the Atlanta Hawks today, and this game could be a blowout. It could be a blowout tonight, everyone. No props right now, but my bet in this game is going to be the Boston Celtics -7, because that's what I see right now on the board. Some books have -6.5. If you can get -6.5, that's what I got on SportX. Yeah, I got -6 actually. If you can get 6.5, get 6.5. But I would bet this game all the way up to -7. I think the Boston Celtics are going to blow these guys out. I bet one full unit on it, and I will be sharing another bet. Depending on the injury reports, depending on the way things go, I will be sharing another pick on Twitter later on today. So make sure you take some time to join us on Twitter Spaces at 6 p.m. Eastern. Come join the conversation. Ask us questions about your tickets if you want to or if you want to share your tickets, whatever it is that you're doing. Help the video get as many likes as possible. I'm taking the Boston Celtics to blow the Atlanta Hawks away tonight. It's My Guy Knows a Guy on the NBA Betting Today live stream. As I said, help the video get as many likes as possible. Subscribe to the channel, and make sure you take advantage of that $50 free bet credits in crypto USDC in the video description below. We're going crazy since the end of the All-Star break. Let's keep it going. If you won a lot of money yesterday, as I did, do not bet it all today. Take it reasonably, and let's continue our mission to attack the NBA markets. Let's keep going, everyone. Enjoy your day. Let's go.